Most people's first step, they just never start. And when they look up, 3 years went by and then they seen everybody else already done did their idea because they never took action and started.
Hey, welcome to Scaling with Confidence. I'm Olu Sobanjo, entrepreneur, coach, consultant, and pastor, here to bring you dynamic conversations with high-level individuals who are scaling 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses. We believe that every entrepreneur has a unique story and purpose that can positively impact the world. And if you are an entrepreneur who's ready to share your journey and insight, visit scalingwithconfidence.com/guest to apply to be a guest on the show. You are going to love this show. You're going to hear real stories from real people who are ready to inspire, challenge, and empower you. We don't just talk business strategy, we dive deep into the personal stories, challenges, and mindset that come with scaling a successful business. So let's go. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
So my name is Barion McQueen. I would say I'm a serial entrepreneur, man. I own several different businesses. I own a real estate photography company. I own a PR agency, and I also own a marketing company called The Brand Castle. I have a podcast called the Game Changers Podcast, where we kind of highlight people that's doing some extraordinary things. And I have a studio in Miami for photography. I got my hands in a lot of pots.
For sure. So tell us how you got here, because you shared some story with me, and I can't wait to hear it again.
Yeah, my resume, my work resume is very small. I literally have only had, I'm 37 now. I've only had 2 jobs in my life. I have worked at an intern firm in Delaware for about a year. And then when I relocated to South Florida, I was at a hurricane impact window company for about 6 years. And that's pretty much the extent of my work experience. I was one of those people that's like the loyal employee that never leaves. So the only reason I left the first job was because I relocated to Florida. So I relocated to Florida in 2013. I started working for a window company. And basically, I moved up pretty fast in the company, but by like year 5, year 6 at that company, they told me I couldn't make no more than $60,000 a year. And for me, I'm like, so for the rest of my life, am I stuck at 60,000? And they like, yeah, you can sell more windows and then you can make some more money. And it was that day that I was just like, okay, you know what? Let me really take my marketing company serious, because I was just doing it on the side after work on the weekends. And I'm like, you know what? I got to really figure out how I can do this and get rid of this 60,000. But I felt because I had the job, I didn't go as hard at my business because I had steady income. So it was like, this is secure. I know I'm going to get my little dollars every week. And then whatever I get with my side business is extra. Play around money is what I would call it. Yeah. And it was just like, when they told me that, I'm like, oh, I can't, this is not enough for me. I need more things I want to do. So I started saving up money from my side marketing stuff that I was doing. And then I just decided to quit. I put my 2-week notice in, told them I'm going to start my marketing agency. And then I did. I left. Had I really done it over, I would have saved up more money before I quit, but I didn't. I just was like, you know what? I quit. This was at the end of 2018. So I was doing good 2018, 2019, and then 2020, that COVID thing destroyed my marketing agency. Every client that I had was a small business owner. We was working for the accountant and the plumbing and the guy that owns the taco truck. And we was just doing their marketing and branding. And they came to me and said, hey, look, Baron, we can't even afford your marketing services. We might not even be open after this. Little by little, I just started seeing me lose all of these clients, and I had no clue what I was going to do after that. So it was not a perfect pivot.
Wow, it's the story's been great, and it gets to the day COVID, yeah. And that really affected a lot of companies, but it affected a lot of business owners in different ways. Correct. For some people, it was the boom, and for some, it shut down everything.
Yeah, because my client base was not like big corporations; they were small owners. So a lot of people have had really bad experiences with marketing companies where I'm paying this every month, but I'm not seeing a return on investment, right? So I was really trying to be as transparent with small business owners and say, hey, look, let me pull the curtain back and show you how marketing companies really have been taking advantage of small business owners for a really long time with no proof of concept, no return on investment. So I changed that. None of my clients were on like a year. Everybody was month to month. So if you wasn't happy with the service, you was free to go. Now, in hindsight, looking back, when COVID hit, it really affected me very quickly because I had everybody on a month to month. And it was just like, I just got to figure something else out. And then I had a friend of mine who was a real estate agent here in Miami. Miami, my guy Ronnie P. And he said, hey, Baron, man, I know you had your marketing company, used to do a little photography, but could you take some pictures of a house for me? Because my real estate photographer is not comfortable going in houses with this COVID thing going around. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, listen, bro, I don't have anything going on right now. I've lost all my clients. I'll do it. So I went, took pictures of this guy's house, maybe was there 15 minutes, and he paid me $150. And I'm like, okay. And then I did another house for him that Thursday. So I had made $300 in 30 minutes doing real estate photography. So I was like, you know what? I gotta make this a business because real estate is still working during the pandemic. So that first year, this would be what, 2020, we did 6 figures that first year just in real estate photography. And I'm just like, oh, this is brilliant. So I grew that company, and now I have other photographers work under me. But now I have a PR agency that does really well. And those are $10,000 to $20,000 months with PR. My hands are in a couple portfolio.
I know. Wow. It's really interesting. As I listen to you, I'm thinking because of the skills and the tenacity that you had before the COVID incident happened,
yes,
you were able to quickly recognize that this is a good place to invest my time in right now. Because you could actually have taken it the other direction and say, my clients were paying me so much, and now you're going to pay me what, $150? And then you would have lost out on the real estate boom that happened because a lot of people were buying during COVID.
Exactly. So it was really like one of those things that I never planned on owning a real estate photography company, but it was just at the time I had nothing going on. It was like I had all my eggs in that marketing company basket. And then I just seen the opportunity to like, hey, maybe this is going to pay my bills and maybe stuff will eventually come back. But once I seen that it was working, and I'm like, oh, this is not, I wouldn't call it pandemic proof, but it was very active during the height of the pandemic. So I said, you know what, because I had marketing and SEO skills and all of this stuff with learning how to do digital marketing, it helped me to be able to just launch a new company out of nowhere that nobody heard of. I went in and it just did what it did. And then that was the same thing with my PR agency. I was actually upset with the agency that I hired to work on my brand, and they did a job. All of these traditional businesses, they're still doing the same thing. You hire a PR agency, I don't know what most PR charge. We're between $3,000 and $5,000 a month per client. So the problem with most PR agencies is the PR agency for years has never had to guarantee that they can get you any kind of, whether it's news, whether it's something on the radio, whether it's a podcast, a written article on an online publication. They never had to prove that they can get you featured. What they would do is they would say, hey, we're your PR company. What we do is we'll just keep pitching you until somebody picks it up. So you could go 3 months, and at $5,000 of them pitching you for 3 months, you spent $15,000 and you don't even have one piece of press. That's what PR has been for a really long time. So for me, I wanted to change traditional PR and I say, look, we guarantee you're going to get picked up every month, 2-3 publications a month, 2-3 podcasts a month, whatever. You got a book coming out, let's get you on ABC, let's get you on your local news. And these are just relationships that I've built with these people that say, hey, I have a client, I think it'll be really good for the platform. So my pitch is not really a cold pitch. This is like relationships that I've with people to say, hey, look, this person is doing some really good things. It fits your format, because that's another thing. People will just, the same pitch, cut and paste. So we really tailor the experience, one to the client, one to the publications. And we've done really well. I can't complain.
Wow. I love that. Yeah. So tell us, most of the people that are here want to scale their businesses, coaches, consultants, they want to see the 10K months and the 6-figure piling up. What would you say with regards to PR? What would you say is the first thing to do?
I think people need to understand. I don't think people take as owners. A lot of the clients that we get them where they have no press, right? They are very successful in their businesses. The problem is when you don't have any press or you don't have any PR, there's no message out there about your company. Nobody knows. Sometimes nobody even knows who the actual owner of the company is. So for me, I take branding very serious, but I used to be the business owner that used to hide behind the logo. I got a good logo. As long as the company pages is good, I'm good. But what I learned is people love people, right? People trust when there's a face to where they're sending their money, right? So if you look at a lot of the big company, KFC, Wendy's, Progressive, whoever it is, even if we do not know the owners, these owners have really gotten smart with putting a spokesperson to be the face of the brand, right? So if you look at Flo from Progressive and you look at Jake from State Farm, these aren't the business owners, but there's something about a person being interactive with the brand. So I really stress that to the people who are owners. And PR and press will help you get the story out about your brand, right? So this is the brand awareness aspect that I feel like everybody needs, because if I'm doing this and this other company is doing that, well, what separates me from them? It looks better when it says, oh, I've been featured on the Ellen show because this is how well we've done, or I've been featured with Oprah. That's a stretch, but whatever, you know what I mean? You have to give yourself every advantage to separate yourself from the competition, and press and media and good podcasting is a good way to do that.
I love that. I love that. And what do you think usually is like the cutoff mark to be able to get PR? So for example, local news, local TV, or even like ABC and the big companies out there, or big podcasts out there.
I think anybody is capable to be on any of those things, right? I always tell people, sit down and think about what your story is, right? If you was to leave tomorrow, what would you want people to say about you? So that aspect of you being able to tell your story, that's how people get picked up. If you look at a lot of the people that get on Oprah and Steve Harvey's morning show, a lot of these people are just people that's doing great things, that they really have a great story that they want to get out to the world. So it could be no money involved. The difference is when you don't know how to reach those people, that's when this PR company comes into play. A lot of PR companies do a lot of this and not enough action, right? That's why I'm very passionate about my brand, because people know they can reach out to me. They know if I said it online, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, any of these social media platforms, I'm the face of the business. If you got issues with the business, you can definitely reach out to me personally. And that's all about me having a brand. When I started taking my brand, more sisters grew on their own without me having to even promote them.
I love that. I love that. And for everyone listening, I want you to see, Barion, the message around how important your story is. Because just paying attention to the fact that I am unique and I can bring my uniqueness to the world because of what I have, and people are willing to bring you on, not because you have attained a goal, a particular goal, but because you're you.
That's it. I had a conversation on my social media maybe a week or two ago, and my dad committed suicide. I wouldn't say I'm an advocate for suicide, but I know it's very difficult subject to speak on. I have no problem speaking on it, but I didn't know how me speaking on it affected other people who couldn't speak like this and talk very freely about it. And that's when I knew I had an obligation to be like, you know what? There's some people that can't talk like this or they're not comfortable with this conversation. I'm not trying to be like I'm the suicide survivor guy, but it's just these are vulnerable topics and vulnerable situations that I'm just a regular guy too, that I can really share and talk about these subjects. Then that might give them some courage to be like, you know what? Let me tell my story, man. I like how he was very transparent and he was very open about that. And that's what your story is. You don't know how yours can affect else, maybe who's going through the similar thing, but because they saw you do it and you were brave enough to share, that might bring a whole new community of other people out to share their story.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing what you just shared about your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that. But how do you, if someone is out there and they're still thinking, my story is not really, you really don't know me. It's not extraordinary. I don't have any big story, big thing, big brands want. How do you help like that?
I think for me, I don't like to say we start off like a therapy session, but it's really, I always ask people, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? And write that stuff down and then ask yourself what's stopping you from getting to that point. And then I think a lot of people don't celebrate small wins, right? Because we always have these big goals, but think about the small win that got you one step closer to maybe the big goal, because somebody might not have got that step, right? So my biggest thing is always telling people to start. Mom is guilty of it. People that call to pick my brain is guilty of it. Hey, Baron, I got this great idea. And most people's first step, they just never start. And when they look up, 3 years went by and then they seen everybody else already done did their idea because they never took action and started. So I think that's one of the things. It's no everybody's story. God made us all unique. So we all have a unique story that we just have to be vulnerable enough really to sometimes share. It's not entrepreneurship is not always boats and yachts and Lamborghinis. I'm responsible for people's livelihood. So I'm stressed a lot because I got to make sure that my team is good and the people that work for me can make sure their kids got Christmas gifts. So it's different to be an entrepreneur, and it's not all that is cracked up to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And now, if, for example, if people want to learn more about PR, maybe they don't have the huge budget of hire an agency that would pitch them, what would you suggest that they could do?
My suggestion, and I'm going to tell you the suggestion I did, because when I started working on my brand, I didn't have $30,000 that these agents was asking for. I didn't even have $500 to give to them, right? So what I did is I studied other journalists from other publications. And then I personally became a journalist, right? So I always had a little blog that I used to write on. I'm like, man, how can I get access to these people, or how can I get access to these publications without paying these huge fees to a PR agency? And I tell people, anybody could be their own PR. It's just going to take you longer, but you can do it. It's going to be free, but it's as long as you're willing to put the sweat equity in. Contributor on New York Weekly and Disrupt Magazine, several other publications. And I just literally wrote stuff that I was passionate about. And I used to submit my stories to these other publications. So what that did as an author is that gave me credibility, one, as a writer, and two, this helped with my SEO. And three, now, if I wanted to start doing PR, because I write my own stories, I could feature them. So I think that's a good shortcut for people. Write down a list of 10 publications you want to be featured in and see how you can become a contributor for that publication first. Once you get your foot in the door, then the rest is you'll get to meet with the other contributors, and you might be able to say, hey, we both write for Oprah, right? But I got this story, man. Would you be willing to do a story for me? I would love to do a story for you. Really build your network and work with other journalists. I recommend a site called Rack.com. If you go on muckrack.com, KK.com, you can find every journalist from every publication in the world. They have a Rack profile. So if you look in the pitch and you have them to hire a PR agency, go on Rack and you find some of those journalists that's in the niche that you're in and reach out. You be your own PR and say, hey, man, I think, but be very sick when you pitch, right? I pitch a lot of people around certain times of the month. You have something good for Black history. You might have good for Women's Month. So it's you can be your own PR agency. I had no PR experience at all. And I started a PR agency. And when I got my first 10K month, just imagine that. My first 10K month was really only 2 clients. So imagine I had 5 clients at $5,000 a month. So just start and try to get the first one, right? And then 10K will look really small.
I love that. I love that. Now, do you want to tell us? I really like the fact that you brought us to your first 10K month. What did you sell? PR?
So I sold a package. So this PR company, I believe it was like a wine and spirits company. So they had this big marketing budget. And I said, hey, look, that whole traditional stuff of radio, and let me pay for a billboard on the highway. The billboard was $10,000 a month. So I asked them, how many people ride past that billboard and are driving and writing your number down or writing your email address down? And I never really thought of that. So I was like, think about this. What if you can have a direct access to consumers who actually want to do your product, right? They want to try your product. Why don't we take that money and invest it in PR and media? Let's start on the local area, right? Let's find out who the local news station is. Let's find out who the local HOAs and all of these smaller communities that are right in where you live. It's always easier to start local, and then you can grow global, right? So we started this, it was a small town in Pennsylvania, and we just flooded the city. We did flyers in the city. We did everything guerrilla style marketing for this, and we still did regular PR. We got them on the local news station where they came and they did a little interview for them, and it was maybe a 15-minute segment on the show, but that little 15-minute segment, they reached everybody in their town that didn't even know they existed. So once they tackled, okay, now we did this at home, now let's go on a scale and really spend some money. So that $10,000 billboard might not have got them nothing when everybody was sitting at home and didn't see the billboard. So I'm like, yo, let's do PR. And I'm forever for them for even taking a chance on me. And we still do some stuff for them today as far as press releases and things that they got. But you can be your own PR. Anybody that's listening to this, if you want to start your own PR agency, use yourself as your first case study. Because once you got the city, the nation's easy, right? Because it's look at the great work they're doing here, right? Now let's do that on a global scale and see how we can 10x that to the next level. So I always tell people, start local and book global. I tell people, man, PR is just getting the word out. Like some people, you look at some of these publications online, you think about Forbes and Entrepreneur and Insider or whatever your local place is. These people get hundreds of the eyeballs on their publication every day. Even if you don't get all 200, if you get 50,000, that's still 50,000 eyes on your product that you didn't have because you didn't do PR. So it's like, by any means, PR is not the end all be all. It's still more work after that. That's what I have to tell some of my clients. Once we get you there, now let's promote that you are there so we can get more. A lot of people's end goal is like my clients, they have this thing that once they get on Forbes, they like, that's it. Forbes is like the goal for everybody, right? But you can't just start at Forbes. Let's work our way up to Forbes. But it's always still some skills and some promotion and marketing that you have to do after you get the publications, right? We can pitch to Forbes, and once we get on Forbes, it don't stop there. Now we have to capitalize on the momentum. And what else can we do now? Let's do a little radio tour and get you on some radios and some podcasts and some other, and let's just keep growing the brand. PR is just it's a small but important part of just building a brand or corporate brand.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I think this is a very good place to wrap this whole summit up, because what you're saying is, with regards to what we're doing, there's people here that are blogging, people that are podcasting, people that are doing videos. What I do is coach people to do videos, right? And people that are facing and doing all this. There's a certain level of work that you currently do that you can bump up into PR as well and actually put like fire behind what you're doing.
I tell anybody, if you have a website for yourself, you should have a blog section on your website.
Absolutely.
Because regardless how much traffic your website gets, this is the journal of the journey, right? So you can look back and document this. But even if you take that approach, when I say go reach out to some other publications and see if you can write for them, you won't want to submit something to them that you've written, right? So if you just pull something from your blog, that's the resume right there. Be shocked at how many people will just send you login details for their website if you write.
Wow. And now with ChatGPT and all the AI.
For everybody who struggle with writing, if you're not on ChatGPT, I tell people, right? I wrote an article, I don't know where I published it, maybe New York Weekly, about how many people are going to lose their job because of ChatGPT, right? And I got a lot of pushback from people. And I'm not saying that everybody is going to lose their job. What I'm telling people is, you do, whether you work a job, whether you're an entrepreneur, just embrace to see how can it help you do things more efficiently and quicker than if you were to do it, right? Just embrace it. Don't be, when my mom first got her first cell phone, she just called. She didn't use none of the features. Don't be that person that don't use none of the features, man. Embrace these things and use it to help enhance what you already do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Barion. We're going to share Barion's gift. He has a gift for us, and his information, everything is on the website already. But I want you to talk about the gift that you have for us, Barion. Everybody's itchy. They want to know what is it that is there for us.
Okay, so what I have for you guys is I put together an ebook that I released, and it's about you just telling your story, but it's about you doing your own PR for you. So I usually sell this ebook, but for you guys, I'm going to give you the free download link, and you can just follow these steps, man. It's literally maybe 7 to 8 chapters. You can sit and read it in less than an hour, but it's going to give you the step-by-step thing I used to grow my brand and grow in PR. Please use it. Hit me up and tell me your success stories after you use it. If you need any help, please don't have to reach out, because there's so much information. And always educate yourself. This stuff's forever changing. I'm sure there'll be a 2.0 version of this at some point, but that's free. That's my gift to you guys, man. Get started on your PR journey, man. saying? You don't have to hire an agency. I'm an agency owner, and I'm telling you, you can be your own PR.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Barion. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate sharing a wealth of your knowledge with us and inspiration. Just listening to you. It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any last word, anything before we let you your ride?
My thing is just you got going on in life. If you got a great idea, a brilliant business idea, just it's the smallest step, but it's the biggest step. And most people never start, and you don't want to live life with those regrets. So just start.
Thank you so much for listening to Scaling with Confidence. If you'd like to be featured on this show, check us out at scalingwithconfidence.com/cashflow and attend my next live challenge where I'll reveal the 3 secrets to increasing your visibility for more profit. And if you're an entrepreneur that would like to be celebrated for your success and be on this show, please visit confidence.com/guest. Keep shining. The world needs your light.